All right, we're out here at Facility 15 testing the all-new electric motocross bike, the Stark VARG. This thing is not available in stores yet. It's not out. This is actually the first time I've ever seen this bike in person. It was brought out here by an official Stark rep who has a small ownership or stake in the company. So we're pretty lucky to see this thing, let alone ride it. Me, Nick, and my friend Evan from Ocean County Power Sports will be riding this, and it will be available at Ocean County Power Sports. I think that's the only place in New Jersey as of now I know of that will have these when they come out. But we are getting our preset modes set here. So you can switch between 5 preset maps, if that makes sense, while you're riding. You don't have to pull over or anything. So we're going to start out with this thing close to a 450. We're going to go 55 horsepower, 30% engine braking, and we'll go up from there from 55, 60, 65, 70, and then jump to 80. So we can try the full horsepower on this thing, which I heard is really crazy. So yeah, once you preset those, you can switch while you're riding. We're getting it set close to the 450s. That's what we're used to. The last rider to ride this had the engine braking at 80%. And, you know, that was pretty insane. So we're not going to try anything like that. But he was an ex-pro motocross, supercross racer. I believe that was Sebastian Tortelli. But, you know, when you have too much engine braking, the thing wants to nosedive in the air. You got to kind of stay on the gas. So we're trying to replicate a 450. And first, here comes Nick. He's going to take this thing out for a spin first. That's his track. Woohoo! Going pretty quick. Second lap. All right, so look at the suspension. The suspension on this is KYB Triple S front forks. Front and rear, same as the Yamaha, which is hands down the best suspension if you ever rode one of these Yamahas. But just look, this thing just on the hard landings, the suspension is just going like halfway through the stroke. And it's just crazy how good the suspension is on this thing. Comes out of this corner so fast. All right, so Nick was actually just riding this thing on the full 80 horsepower. So we'll see what he says about this.
You gotta ride it like half throttle. Yeah.
Was it still on 80 just now?
Definitely, it's rideable, but it's you can't. You gotta be on it that much less.
Yeah.
But it's so fast. I mean, it's so fast. I think probably that 55, 60 in there is probably per motocross.
Yeah.
And we're on a sand track, but it's just perfect. The 80, it's the same. It's smooth on the bottom, taking off. Very similar to 55. It doesn't explode, but the top just never stops through the 80.
Wow.
It just keeps going.
Wow.
Someone's got to try it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's no gears or anything? Oh. I can see Tedesco Photo right here. Snapping some pictures. I'll have to include some at the end of this video.
I think he's going to want that other one he just got. Change that instead of this.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
He just kind of let me demo riding it. Typically, it's my bread and butter, so it's the way I get hired. That's what I do. So if locals come out and you're going to share some of this with Morgan, and yeah, we'll drop them off. Cool.
Good away. So this is on 2. That's
It's 20% engine braking. I like it. I mean, that's
and then
my bike, I would leave it there.
and 60 horse.
60 horse.
Oh boy.
It's like a tad faster than
Oh yeah, here we go.
I would even go back and keep it up.
Yep, all good. It's so quiet. Oh my God. bouncing. Whoa. Try mode 2. Mode 2. 60 horse, 20% engine brake. Feels the same off the bottom. Whoa, kicker. Feels good. Yeah, it feels better. Woo. Holy shit. Dude, that suspension is soft. I mean, good soft. Holy shit. That suspension soaked up every overjump. That's way better than mine. What the heck? So fast. Hey, I thought I almost stalled it. Alright, so I'll just give you my honest opinion, just going right off the bat right now. I rode this thing 2 motos, 5 laps each about. And I think after my 3rd lap, once I got past that the rear brake was up on the handlebars, you get used to, reaching for the back brake in the air. Once you get past that, which is, 1, 2 laps or whatever, I honestly think that my 3rd lap might have been, already could be faster than my fastest on my 450. It just feels that comfortable right out of the gate. I put up to 80 horsepower, gave that a test. It was insane how fast it goes. But actually, it was like the same throttle response off the line. So like you can cut around, and it's very easy to ride if you want to be. But the thing is, there are no gears, so like it just keeps going. It's almost like you're perfect shifting every time. Like the thing keeps going. That's another thing that you have to get used to in the air. If you go to correct, if you're nosediving and you give it a little bit of gas, it will exaggerate how much it will pull the front up, because it's almost like if you clicked your bike into 5th gear when you were riding in 2nd in the air, you click the 5th and rev it. I mean, the wheels can spin much faster.
Oh, I
so
switched it.
There's that to get used to.
The
but
60,
once you get past
I was
all
riding on the
here's what I think is
60,
unfair.
20.
You can easily put this thing in one of your preset modes to have 80 horsepower. You can click it for that at the starting gate. Easily pull the whole shot with 80. Like, I mean, if you don't pull the whole shot against, everyone else has got like 55 horsepower, and you have no gears, you don't have to worry. Should I start in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, whatever?
Yeah, that was really good.
It's just so much easier. You can feel like when you pull off the track and put
something
in 80,
like Raceway when the track gets rough.
So easy
oh
to
my
take
god,
off
I would just
fast.
turn the power down.
You don't have to worry about shifting.
And you'd be like,
so you pull the whole start. You
day.
can click this thing back down to like 55 horsepower,
like this.
And then as the moto goes on, you can
cool,
keep clicking off 5 horsepower if you want to not get tired, not get on.
It seems like it's still on with
so
the noise.
in that sense, I kind of feel like this is a cheater bike. You'll notice that I think people that were not really good at starts, if they get one of these bikes, you'll see
22.
those people that were maybe mid-pack racers.
Wow.
They're going to start pulling all shots and run the pace, and get a clear track ahead of them.
Yeah, really, it is.
So that's actually, I feel like, is going to be unfair if they're allowed in the same open class. Just for that fact alone that you can have
So
that
cool.
much power, click it on at the start, get the whole shot and go. It's just insane, you know, and there's no gears, and
Stick around for a little bit?
that's a lot of skill that people practice many years to get good at starts, and you know, that just kind of is an unfair advantage towards the others, I feel. But if you want to start winning, I mean, here, if you don't like the electric bikes, you better start practicing and not let these electric bikes beat you at the races. Otherwise, things are going to take over. Here's a slideshow of some photos that came up from the day from Tedesco. But yeah, again, I think that these bikes, if they are allowed in the regular AMA races, at your local races, that people who wouldn't typically get good starts and maybe win some motos, I think some people will get this bike, and if they know, I'm not going to assume everyone's going to have the idea to put the 80 horsepower for the start and then click it down, but I mean, it's kind of unfair, and I think that they will get a start easily and then realize that they could run in the front of the pack with a clear track in front of them, you know, depending on how everyone else comes in. Obviously, it's not, I know that it's, you know, it's 90% the rider that's riding the bike and will get through the race and win. But sometimes when let's say the top 10 people are pretty close in lap times, and someone else gets a good start, that makes a huge difference. And I think that once people start seeing other people winning on these electric bikes or getting all the hole shots, that people who are serious about racing and just want an advantage will start getting these bikes, and you'll start to see that these electric bikes might take over. And your best bet, if you don't want the electric bikes to take over, is go out and go to the races and beat these bikes. I mean, it's kind of plain and simple. I think that's the only way to fight against it for everyone who wants to. Everyone wants to cry about when the two strokes are long gone or whatever, but everyone bought the 4 strokes, you know, and I'm not I have myself to blame for that too. But it's just a fact that if it can get you a better result, people are going to buy it. And then when everyone else starts having that advantage, you don't want to be the only one out with a slightly disadvantaged bike. So your best bet, if you want to fight against the electric bikes taking over, you're going to have to practice a little more, and just don't let these bikes get the start on you, and don't let them finish ahead of you. And maybe they won't take over. But yeah, just for the fact that I think the biggest thing is getting a start on one of these things and how easy it is to ride. Very, very smooth throttle. It feels balanced. It does not feel heavy. And the suspension was just so good. Like, I'm literally going back and I might have my suspension revalved, or it's all stock right now. But definitely tweaking it. Like, this suspension is really good. But, you know, that's the same for the Yamaha. It feels just like that. So, yeah, I think overall for the price tag, I would buy one if I could, you know, if I picked only one bike and I had a place to ride in my backyard as well, but I don't. So I kind of don't have, you know, that would be the big deciding factor. If I had a place to ride where it needs to be quiet, I would 100% get one of these bikes. But everywhere I ride, it's, you know, it's a track or somewhere. It's not like my backyard with neighbors, so I don't have to worry about the noise. But I would say, you know, 100%, I would get one of these things just for that. But yeah, that's all I have to say. It's a really good bike. Definitely does not feel cheesy. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's really good, and makes you go back to your gas bike and want to tinker with it a little and make it a little smoother. But yeah, best bet is go practice. Don't let these bikes win, and you'll probably see one of these winning some local races.